Can you smell that?
Still drinking it.
What does that smell like, Tom? It smells like success, doesn't it?
It smells like Lewis Bowden.
It smells like great footy takes. It smells like Lewis Bowden wrong again. It smells like, was I wrong also, but I'm forgetting I was part of it. Reva's definitely wrong.
I think he's. I think he's humble.
Does it smell like Nottingham Forest
Nottingham?
Nottingham Forest? Does it smell like Norris is angry?
Do you know what? I'm not even.
Tom, you're better than that.
I'm
Let me
not
get your
even.
feet up on the table.
I'm not even that smug. I told you so.
Oh, he did it. He said it.
I had to. I'm sorry,
no, you can't
but
say that.
I know. I don't want to say I told you so.
But you
I
did.
fucking told you so.
Yeah.
You tree shagging wankers.
Okay.
Now get out my DMs and stop abusing my family. Because I was right.
Let's take a roll
Everything I've said.
You don't see breaking. You don't see breaking news like that on Sky Sports News, guys. Nuno Espirito Santa has been sacked. Has been sacked by Marinakis.
No, Mr.
Who
Marinakis.
could have seen that coming?
But why have they sacked him? Because they don't get on.
No, because this is right. This is what Nuno does.
They're just good, though.
He has a good spell and then he blows it up. He self-destructs everything, either with his football or like he's done this time with what he said. He's obviously come out, moaned, when actually he's been backed heavily this summer.
I don't
hasn't
see-
he?
yeah.
They've spent a lot of money on like good young players. And he spoke out against Mr. Marinakis, which you don't do.
No.
So I'm not surprised he's been sacked at all, even though they've had a good start and they have looked like they've tried to change their style. But apparently, Mr. Marinakis wants.
But obviously, Tom, the 51-year-old former Wolves and Tottenham boss was in the job for 21 months, helping to stave off relegation his first season before obviously guiding for us a seventh place finish last season, and ultimately they got him into the Europa League.
Good ball knowledge. Do you not think that maybe the reason he started coming out and talking about it was, did he see behind the scenes the writing on the wall was for him a bit, and that was his last attempt to try and get something to
Possibly.
change?
I think it's in his nature. Obviously, I don't know the bloke. I think it's in his nature to where he thinks he's taken it to where he can now.
That's
And
a cop-out way of. I think that's lazy punditry there, Tom. I think he's
copping out of it.
I think that he's just had a major fallout with Marinakis.
Over what though?
He said,
Well then, so
But the
he's got
fact that-
nothing to
that-
fall out about. He's been backed heavily in the summer.
Just because you see two people, you don't know them personally, you don't know what they've been talking about, you don't know why they're falling out, but you see them falling out. But you can see the way he's reacted with his speeches publicly.
Yeah, but he's been moaning. He's been hinting at like transfers and stuff
But
when he's
you're
been
not
heavily
in the
backed.
meeting room, so you don't know what they've been talking about. I
Neither
reckon
of you,
there's
then okay. Then neither of us.
Yeah.
All right, then neither of us have been in the meeting, so let's not talk about it.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is the fact that there is beef, clearly.
Yeah.
That means
Because
they
I
must
think
have had
this
a
is- I
fallout.
think this
So I'd
is-
say there's more evidence for having a
But,
fallout than there's not.
Nuno did this at Wolves as well.
No,
He had a
Nuno-
fallout at Spurs as well. Nuno does this. This
Nuno
is his
did-
nature.
Nuno did say like that their relationship isn't like as close as it was before.
But
on
why
that
does
side.
that matter?
But maybe what I'm saying is, Tom, actually, is maybe there's more to Nuno that we don't know. Maybe he actually has a
No,
very short fuse.
I think he's a massive bottle job. I think
Or
he's
he's a short fuse, angry man?
I think he throws the towel in when things aren't perfectly going well. All right, I think he does that a lot. And I
Even
think
after the
proof's in the pudding with that as well.
the train derailed, he actually came out and said that him and the manager are at a better place now, and then got sacked a week later.
It's
How does that work?
Marinakis, so you don't...
because
It's
because he had his family hostage.
Okay,
But obviously,
right, yeah.
they've just brought in the fella who finished 17th with Tottenham Hotspur last
Actually, they've
year.
just brought in the Europa League champion, which is why they've brought him in.
Ironically, he
Gonna win
did
Europa
get
League?
sacked, though,
Yeah,
He shouldn't
after
have
winning
really.
a trophy.
I feel like
Which is,
going-
says a lot about someone, I think.
and he's Greek.
Why do you hate Ange so much? He's not at Tottenham anymore. Is it
Oh,
because
yeah.
he won a trophy sooner than Arteta?
No, it's because everyone's raving on about how good of a manager he
He
is.
is great.
So why did he get sacked?
Why is everyone? No, I don't
That's
think everyone's
irrelevant.
raving on about.
He
it.
did a
you were.
fantastic.
You were
I'd
last
say he's
year.
a
Oh, I
fantastic
think-
job. He's done a fantastic job at Tottenham.
He hasn't done a fantastic... I think that's lazy punditry
Right,
right,
he's
there.
got them in the Champions
Stop calling
League.
me a pundit.
Yeah.
He did what Jose Mourinho
What's
couldn't.
going
He
on?
did what Conte couldn't. All these world-class managers. He's done a great job. Even your
didn't do a
Arsenal
great job.
buy. Yes, he did. He won.
Yeah,
the
we're not
Europa
doing.
League.
Look, we're not doing this.
We're
again.
not getting into this
Do
again.
you think? Do you think?
Do you
that-
think?
Do I think Ange is going to get?
Let's flip it for a
Forest
second. 'Cause
relegated?
You're the question master a lot of the time. Do
Yeah.
you think he's been hired to win the Europa League at Nottingham Forest?
I think that is why he's been hired. However, this is what I think is going to happen.
Go on then.
I think, so Forest's defence is usually pretty good, right? I think you can see them now a little bit faulty. I think Forest may turn into one of the worst defences in the entire league. I think Chris Wood may start banging in a bunch of goals, like he always has done in the past. Like, keep banging them in.
Keep going. No, keep going.
But I actually think Forest may fall into a relegation battle this season
Okay.
by scoring loads of goals and
And
conceding loads of
conceding
goals.
lots. Okay.
I
But
don't
still
under-
win the Europa League.
No.
Oh, but you just said they would.
No, he's bought in to do that job. I don't think he will.
Right.
I think you're being really harsh.
I think your Ange bias
Do you
is
think I'm
showing.
being harsh, or do you think I've looked at what Ange did at Spurs and
Win a trophy.
literally that's what he did at Spurs?
Oh, we're not getting into that again. Like
No, but Tom,
he showed in moments. He showed in moments. He
conceded
can change the way he
but
plays.
He did concede.
Yeah, but
a lot
what
of
about the
goals.
season? What about the season prior? Just to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
What about the season? What about the season prior where they finished fifth?
Yeah,
But I'm.
Oh my God,
that
mate.
was 2 years ago.
Right.
And that one was 1 year. But what?
Yeah.
We're talking about the now, not the then.
That is the then as well. Last
If
year.
anything
I
to
just
go
think you
by,
look
he
at-
should be.
Yeah,
all
but I
right.
just think if you have such a catastrophic
That's
Oh
correct.
my
fall
God.
off in the Premier League, then it doesn't bode well.
But
for when
Forest
you return.
already have a good defence, like a
know.
good base there.
I know, but did Tottenham have it when they finished fifth? A good base, a good defence.
They didn't finish fifth when he come in.
When he was there the year before,
What you want about?
they had a decent defence, didn't they? Spurs.
When
you know when
bef-
Spurs finished fifth?
with him.
Yes,
But that's what. Yeah, that's
then
so
the
he
next
built.
se-
That's
but
what
the
you're
next-
missing. I don't know what your point is here.
but it fell off pretty quick after one season.
No, he won the cup the season after.
But he had loads of injuries.
Yeah.
And won a Europa League. I don't.
Theo, you are being too harsh.
I don't think I am being too harsh.
I think you really are.
I don't think I am.
But he won again. We don't want to go down this thing, but like either or, he's displayed.
They'll
he
be
can,
entertaining.
He has displayed.
There's no
yes,
doubt they'll be
he displayed
entertaining.
weakness last year, but then he's also shown he can finish high up in the Premier League and he can win trophies. So for Forest, it's a good appointment. It's a risky one.
I don't know if
maybe.
it's a good
I
appointment.
think it's
I think it's
it's
good.
incredibly
I think there's
risky.
so many better options. I think the main one they should have gone for is Marco Silva. Because he
Nathan
was
from Fulham.
But he was at Olympiacos as well, wasn't he?
Is it, for them though? Do they not just want? They want it done quickly. I imagine, like quick to. Just,
I know, but he's Ange the answer the way Forest play. What are Forest good at?
He's eyeing the trophy,
let me
isn't
ask you guys.
Ange's going to want to play out from the back. Do you think Murillo and Milenkovic can
Tom,
play out from
I
the
think
back?
I-
do you,
trophy.
Tom, do you
Really
think
can.
Forest? Do you think Forest under Ange will win the Europa League? Do
No.
you think they finish top half table?
Uh,
Be
about
honest.
mid-table.
You think they finish? What about you?
At the end of the season.
Will they win the Europa League under Ange?
I think they'll have a good run.
Their squad is good enough to do that, but maybe not.
I don't think they'll
so.
win. To be honest, I don't know who's in the Europa League
I'll
this
tell
year.
you.
Who are the best teams in the Europa League?
It could. Forest could definitely be one of the better squads in that.
I think it's going to be quite interesting. I feel like Ange is very harshly
got-
thought of
Villa,
at the moment.
Bologna.
Don't read every
Fenerbahce.
team.
I'm not. Villa, Bologna, Celtic, Fenerbahce, Feyenoord, Lille, who are doing very well this season.
They are one of the better teams.
They are one of the
Yeah,
better
they
teams.
could-
yeah.
Villa's
Lyon,
looking weak.
Nice, Porto, Rangers, Betis,
Porto.
Roma, Salzburg, Stuttgart,
I'd say no, they won't win it, but I think
be
they'll have
amongst
a-
it.
I
Panathinaikos.
think they'll have a good run.
Panathinaikos.
They have a chance, let's say. I kind of respect the balls of it. That you're right. Like Premier League might take
Do
a
you think
fall,
they'll
but
win
if they
the-
want to go win a trophy and like say fuck it, let's try it, then he's the best.
Do you
pick.
think they'll do it?
I think they'll be amongst it. It's hard to say.
Do you
innit?
think they'll do it?
I really couldn't say.
Just have an opinion.
No, but like, I think they'll be amongst it at the end.
And do you think
Like,
they'll finish top half of the table? Premier
I
League.
can't remember where I put them. I think
It
I put
also
them like
depends
10th.
if Ange does if he's been bought in just to win the Europa League, which I
Yeah.
don't think is true. He wants a new style of play, doesn't he, Mr. Marinakis? He wants to play good football, like. But
He wants exciting football for the
yeah,
fans.
exactly. So if
They'll
he,
definitely
if he
be more
does
exciting.
prioritise Europa League, then no, they won't finish the top half because he'll do what he did at Spurs.
Yeah.
But if they should have the squad to be able to do both. But the thing is, I don't think Chris Wood will play under Ange.
What?
Chris
They
Wood.
can't- no,
They
come on.
have to 100%.
What Chris Wood is going to press?
Who
like,
else is he going to play?
that the one they've signed from Botafogo?
Igor Jesus.
They
Igor
signed like
Jesus.
4 players from
I think-
Botafogo.
and
by
And
the
they've
way.
signed that other
Definitely
striker from France who's like 30 million. I think give it a few weeks, Chris Wood won't be starting for Ange.
I disagree with you.
We'll see.
I think, yeah,
He's got to play.
He'll be blowing
gonna
out
play.
his arse.
He's going to play.
Nah, mate. Well,
He's gonna play.
Ange
Wood, man.
might have learned from his mistakes. He might adapt his style a bit to fit
He also did.
the players he has.
He adapted his style at Frankfurt when Spurs went and beat Frankfurt, and even in the final against United, they did adapt their style just to sit in. He can do it. So I don't know. I personally would have gone for Marco Silva or even Brendan Rodgers because Celtic haven't signed
Do you actually
anyone.
think he's naive enough to just come to Forest and expect to play the exact same way he did at Spurs? I feel like
Possibly.
logically he will
No, I don't think
adapt
so.
it
I
to
don't
the
think so.
team.
You play with personnel you have, I think.
Yeah,
But
you'll-
I
you'll
don't,
play-
I don't know about that. I think managers
Amorim
have their
isn't.
amateurs.
No, that part.
Amateurs. You made me say amateurs after hammering. I think managers have their style of play, and that's what they try and enforce on the team.
No,
they
but
do,
not
but-
you slowly develop it,
yeah,
don't
but
you?
You can't just keep fitting like square pegs in round holes.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work.
It's like
that.
a
You have
slow
to try and change
integration.
it a little
We'll
bit.
see.
Except for Amorim.
I do think they possibly, other than their centre halves, I know Murillo he's all right, but Milenkovic isn't good enough to play out from the back the way that Spurs did. But
They got high energy fullbacks,
yeah,
which is that could suit.
and they've got good midfielders.
They have
like-
a good midfield.
Got
they
Elliot
do.
Anderson.
They're look, they've got a good team, Forest. They've definitely got a good team. I don't know. I'm not. I think it's a weird one. Personally, I'm not that.
It's way too early to call anyway.
Who's
We
gonna
haven't
be
seen him enough in the Premier League at a team that isn't a big team.
Who called Nuno to be first to be sacked in the season?
Yeah. Not. I didn't think it would be like this.
Who's second?
Potter. Actually, no, hang on.
Amorim could walk before that.
I'll still go with Farker, and then the Leeds
I
will
think
probably
Potter's the one, you know.
I don't know because that was a good
think he
result.
can
at
hang on.
Forest, that.
Yeah, but is that not just like the
Once in a blue
Amorim
moon.
Ten Hag kind of vibe?
But that's kept,
Finally
that
get away, keep
results
himself in the job for a bit
giving
longer.
him money in the bank for at least a couple.
Do you know what? I could see
games.
Potter
No.
getting sacked and then bringing in Ten Hag, actually. I feel like Ten Hag reeks of West Ham.
Oh nah.
No,
Nah,
man.
you wouldn't.
They're bringing Nuno.
They'd bring Mourinho in West Ham.
Oh, yeah, he's
Have you
looking for it
seen-
now as well.
Have you seen the last 8 Man United managers all jobless?
Yeah.
Like 3 of them got sacked in the last month.
Yeah.
Not Bowden well to be a Man United manager at the moment. But well, that is the breaking news there, guys. Nuno Espirito Santos has been
It's
Santos.
Santo.
I know. I keep saying Santa.
Santa.
Has been sacked by Mr. Marinakis at Nottingham Forest and been replaced by Big Ange.
Thank you, Mr. Marinakis.
You know, could we see a return for Nuno pretty imminently?
I don't know.
And Wolverhampton Wanderers, Tom, as our resident Wolves fan in the building, can you tell us about this?
I think they'd want it, the Wolves fans.
Really? Wait, do they love him?
In the group chat, they've already been
Really?
saying Nuno back
Damn.
at the Wolves, yeah. But you got to remember what Nuno did for the Wolves. He's like, he took them from the Championship to the Europa League. Like, it's similar to what Nuno's done at Forest, really. But
Yeah.
he's like a god there. But I do think they're forgetting how bad it got at the end. Like, Nuno should have been sacked the day we beat them in COVID 3-2, like with David Button in goal and like Kamil Grzycki and fucking Romain. So, like, the team we had out was embarrassingly bad. And that's how bad it got. This is my whole point about Nuno, and he blows up at the end. I just think I do think just never go back. Albion are prime
Everton went
examples
back.
of it last season of Tony Mowbray. Like, it's never as good as the first time.
Everton brought Moyes back, and
Yeah, and
he's
it's
better than
still,
ever.
no, it's not. They
he's
finished.
doing great.
They finished in the top 4 under
Yeah,
David
no, I
Moyes.
know,
They're never
but
going to do that again.
Hey, they're doing great now, though.
Are they going to finish in the top 4 under David Moyes?
They
I
might.
think that's a harsh. The league's in a
Are they-
completely
are they
different
playing-
state
Yeah,
right
that
now.
is-
If
that's a good point.
you compare where he took
Yeah.
Everton from and where he's brought them to in such a short time, you can say he's definitely carried
Also,
on where he
that,
left off.
what you
It was
just said
like
is completely
20
false.
it
The
was like
league was
20
way
years
harder to break into the top 4 back then than it is now.
Okay, so you're
20
saying
years ago.
is it not worth them going back to Moyes then? You think?
No, Moyes has been great for Everton, but it's not as good as the first time round.
But that's completely irrelevant. He's came
But that's
back
all
and done
my
a great
point
job.
was.
But like
Nuno could come in and do a good job at Wolves, but it'll never be as good as it was. That's why I say just never go back. I don't think it works.
I don't follow your logic at all. That's like saying your logic is saying, well, because Moyes won't take us to top 4 like he did before, we're not going to get him.
You telling me you
No,
never
no,
broke up with the
all I
Dolphins and
said
gone
was
back to that?
it's never as good as the first time. That's all I said.
But that's
I'm not saying don't go.
But that
I'm
still
not-
might be the better option sometimes.
broke up with someone
I
and got back
personally
with
think Pereira's a decent
No.
manager anyway. I don't think Wolves need to sack him. They've had a bit of a shaky start and they've got issues with depth and stuff, but I still think Wolves will be absolutely fine. They've
Are
brought in
I don't.
they've got loads of new players that they've got to.
Is their squad better now than it was when he was previously there?
Nuno?
Yeah.
No,
Oh, okay.
it's worse.
Well,
Way
that
worse.
probably-
They had Jimenez, Neto,
Yeah.
Jota, Neves,
Yeah.
Bolly. Like they had a really good team under Nuno, but
Will he not be hoping for a bigger job anyways? Like
Who?
Nuno, like if he's done a good job there.
that is a good point. That's a very
Man
good
United.
point. Does he really want to go in at a
go Man
relegation?
United?
I think he fancies himself being above that now.
But
Nah,
That's a
but
wild
we've
one,
seen
isn't it?
him
Wild
at-
card out there on the
We've-
not
table.
after what happened at Spurs.
that's what I mean. We've seen him at teams that are another level from that.
Yeah.
Didn't do that well, did he?
I think Nuno would be like, I don't know, if Glasner left, he could maybe slot in at a Palace or something like that.
Yeah.
I think he's like a mid-table Premier League manager, isn't he?
Well, yeah, Man United.
I'll be honest, I don't. Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, it's the size of the club that I'm on about. Like,
yeah, but do you not? This is to play devil's advocate. Do you not actually think, given Nuno's track record, he actually could do a good job at United?
He'd do a better job than
Get
Amorim.
back into Europa.
Given his track record, no, he couldn't. He couldn't handle it at Spurs. How's he going to handle it at Man United?
Is it just cursed forever?
Yeah.
I actually think it is.
Yeah.
Actually,
But Lewis raised a good point last year. Like, what point?
Was that the last time he did?
I think so.
You know, you talk about like, oh, Man United. Are they actually a mid-table club?
I think they still haven't
or
accepted where they are.
Are they a top 6 club?
But no.
Yeah,
They're
but
a top 6 club.
Yeah.
They're a big 6 club.
If you go down to like ability-wise, they need
That's
to.
a team. There's a difference between club and team.
I think Man United's issue is like down to ability-wise, they're not where they're aiming for. So when they don't reach there, it's sort of classed as a failure internally. When it's like we're actually not good enough. So if they don't reach top 6, top 5 this season, it's gonna be classed as a failure. But it's like that's also like fucking Crystal Palace not reaching top 6
it's
and
not.
getting disappointed. It is.
It's not.
Crystal Palace
Not,
would beat
mate.
fucking Man
Really not.
United.
It's one of the stupidest things you've ever said.
It's not at all.
I'm
Man
not saying-
United's ability-wise aren't there.
That's not the point. As
It
a
is the
club,
point. That's
as a
the point
club-
I'm making.
As a club, their ambition will always be every season
Yeah.
minimum Europe. Minimum. It has to be
And-
because they're Man United.
Yeah, and that's fine. But that's why they keep failing because they need
But
to
even,
build
Tom, can I
correctly and
say-
slowly
can I
rather than
say,
rushing.
You know, you said that. I think you saying that already the goalposts have changed for Man United. You said Europe.
Minimum.
Yeah, shouldn't their minimum be Champions League?
Start of the season, they were
As
aiming
in
for that.
Manchester United's minimum should be Champions League. Or fucking Conference League.
Well, yeah.
That means
Yeah, but
that
that-
Lewis is almost right halfway there. You've already changed the goalpost for them, buddy.
Have I?
Yeah.
All right. I think that their minimum would be top 6. Then I don't really. I
You know,
don't know.
but that's
what,
my point, though. Goalposts are already changing. We're already halfway there. To
How many times have they changed?
Mate, they're fucking all over.
They've changed from
United's
when? They've
minimum
changed
should-
from when?
Champions League was always their minimum.
Start of the
fucking winning
season.
the league was always their minimum.
Yeah, minimum. Winning the
And now
league
you're
was
saying
always their minimum,
Europe,
of course. Yeah.
Conference League.
But yeah, well, that's where they're at. I don't understand.
But
what
that's
you
why.
want me
That's
to
what.
say.
Yeah, but now you're agreeing with Lewis's point. That's where they're at.
No, he said
So
they should aim for
Yeah.
like 10th.
I'm not
No,
saying
but
they
that-
should aim for that. I feel like they should restructure what they class
You
as
just basically
failure.
agree with him. Not realising it there.
No, but Man United are the size of club and they have the revenue where they can go and buy players like Acuna and Mbeumo to help them try and get.
Mate, they tried it the last
It
5
doesn't-
years.
It doesn't work like that, though, does
But
it?
it might this year. Like, who should they sign? Fucking
I think-
Scott Twine.
I
Who
think
should they
Mbappe.
sign?
I think they should have actually spread their money out a lot further and just improved the squad generally, rather than getting like 3 big name players. Sesko, who they didn't even need, by the way, and it's looking a bit concerning.
They did.
That's,
Who's
They
their-
needed a striker.
Who was their striker?
Hodgland.
yeah, you can play Cunha up there.
Where's Zaxi in it, really?
What?
You can play Cunha up there.
Cunha's not a
They
9.
didn't.
What are you on about?
With Sesko, right, rather than Sesko, why not go for someone more Premier League proven? It's like them getting that young keeper. Why not get Martinez, a young experienced Premier League proven, good character for the dressing room? Instead, they went for this
True.
young, risky route again, and they just have a team full of players who.
What about Cunha and Mbeumo, established Premier League players?
That's the
I don't
opposite.
mind them
from mid-table
I don't
teams.
mind that, but now they.
Casemiro.
But then what? I like those signings.
Isn't that the
Sesko,
opposite of what you
I
said
think's wrong.
before? You used to say United should focus on rebuilding rather than getting these big name players, and now you want the likes of Emi Martinez to be.
Emi Martinez wasn't. That's like a cheap transfer. That's like 30 million.
No. Irrelevant of the actual monetary value. You've said in previous years that United should stop buying these big names.
I don't think Martinez is like a big name. I think he's like an established keeper.
I mean, he did win like
And
goalkeeper of the year.
but like
award
I don't feel like
twice.
that's the same as going out and make a big money move. Like if you can get a Martinez for 30 million or this younger keeper who might be class, or we know.
Yeah, but
I think that's
the
another
opposite
example.
logic, though. Emi Martinez is a higher profile player in the Premier League than Lemens
On
is.
massive
and
wages.
you're just saying.
I think the best way to sum it up is
You've contradicted yourself,
No,
is what I'm saying.
I really haven't. I feel like what Man United are doing, they're on the roulette wheel and they're fucking hoping that one day it's going to land on their number.
Doesn't everyone do that?
Rather than betting on black or red, they're betting on number
don't bet.
32, and it's not coming in.
I don't understand the point here, mate.
So there's less chances of it landing.
No,
on
but
32.
yeah. So what's the comparison? Betting on black and red is the equivalent of what?
So
in the Premier
Martinez
League?
is black or red.
Yeah.
And then this random keeper who they got as young is like number 17.
All right. So what about Mateus Cunha?
So if it lands on it, it might be unbelievable.
yeah.
But it's probably not going to land.
What
What
about
about Cunha,
Cunha?
the
What about
Brazilian
Cunha?
international they've
I
just
like
signed?
Cunha
He's
as
prem-proven.
a signing, yeah.
Evens.
So, but that
think
is
Cunha-
that is a black or red signing.
think
You know
Cunha-
he can do it in the league, and he's one of the best
Yeah, that's
players
good.
in the.
I'm not criticising that
Same
signing.
with Mbeumo, yeah, but they've only made 4
those
signings.
two are
haven't they?
But you
good.
just said-
They could have saved on Sesko, and I think the problem with Man United is also the way they've sold.
So who
They've
else?
sold- let's have a look who they've sold. They've sold Elanga, who would be good for them right now. They've sold McTominay.
how long ago
who's
did they sell Elanga?
They've
Lewis,
sold,
fucking
they've
hell.
sold. They've sold McTominay, who's went off to be one of the
They
best
sold
players in
Beckham
Serie
as well.
A.
They should have kept him.
And they sold McTominay, went off to be one of the best players
But
in
you just
Serie A.
said their structure of transfers is wrong because they've bought these high-profile players, i.e. Mateus Cunha, and you've just agreed with him signing.
But they also have a track record of buying. To be fair to Lewis, they also actually do have a high record of buying these high-level players, big name players, and not working out.
Premier League Premier League proven.
A lot of the time, Alexis Sanchez.
He's hounded the Lamens signing because he's not as well known.
Yes, but you're misunderstanding. I'm trying to tell you. Premier League proven is very different to buying Anthony abroad for loads of money, buying a random Malacia in, buying in this random
Alexis
keeper.
Sanchez.
You've criticised me how many seasons. You criticised me for how many seasons I went back to Langer, and you're on about Sanchez.
Well, yeah, but that was a Prem proven. Didn't work. Prem proven doesn't always work.
No, so I mean, I'll go that far back or not?
No,
because Langer was more recent than that.
Man United, he's just a graveyard, and for high-profile players, he just has been. There's only like Ibrahimovic really who's worked in the last 10 years.
Ronaldo, I guess.
That's like fucking how long ago?
Sanchez vibes, like, do you know what I mean? Like Van Persie.
That was after Sanchez was a bit after that.
Going back years. We'll go back many years.
But that was under Fergie, wasn't it?
This is actually when they were still successful, by the way.
Was it not Fergie?
No, it was Van Gaal, possibly. I don't know.
I think it was Van Gaal.
I don't know. I just think, I don't know. I think Man United have done okay in the transfer market so far.
But what my criticism of your logic,
bloody hell.
My criticism of your logic was United should have bolstered their squad instead of buying these big money profile players, and then you've agreed to them being good players. I'm not
talking specifically this one. I'm talking more in their overall track record this season. I think Cunha and Bremel.
I will say though, Luke, like I think a keeper. It's always when you're signing a keeper, especially after the problems United have had with Onana Bayinda, like they need someone who come in. Like I think a Martinez would have been a better signing but it's not just about his character. He's dominant. He knows what he's doing. He's not a young, timid, potentially keeper who's coming into this huge club. I feel like keeper. It's like with Trafford, right? I think he's going to be brilliant for City, but right now, is he the one? We don't know because keepers are a completely different position. You can't like Yamal at 18. You'd never see that in a keeper really, except like a Donnarumma who's once in a blue moon. The last
literally now, actually,
even David De Gea was very young when he came in.
My worry
he went on to be really good for Man United, but it's a lot harder to be a young, great keeper.
My worry is if you look at what's happened.
You're under scrutiny more than any other player on the pitch. Yeah,
you seen what happened to like Onana? He came in and he was like best keeper in the Champions League, and he was like all this. Now there's such a huge spotlight because of how poorly Onana's performed, and on that position, if this keeper gets off to a bad start, the scrutiny is going to be brutal. That's why I think Martinez is it would have been a clever choice because you can rely that he's not going to struggle.
Well, who's going to finish higher? Forest or United?
Forest. I actually think Forest, genuinely.
I can see both finishing bottom half.
I think Man United finished 14th.
But one's got to finish above the other. So who is it? I reckon Manchester United finish higher.
I'd go United.
I'll go United now.
What does that mean?
You have to remember...
If Nuno was above them now. If Nuno was in charge, I'd say maybe the other way around.
Well, Amram's going to quit by Christmas, so...
Yeah, that poor bloke needs to leave.
He's gonna, man. He's gonna quit.
he needs to sack it off.
They need to sack him and go and get Eddie Howe. That'd be unreal.
Oh my god,
that'd be unbelievable.
What would happen if that actually happened?
I'd be very upset.
I think if Eddie Howe goes anywhere, the vein would.
It continues the agenda, though, doesn't it?
The only thing,
how they've stolen everything good out of your life.
How?
Yeah.